Hi there, I'm super excited. Today from home, I get to interview and chat with Carl Worden, who is a tax defer expert. And he's going to take us through the obvious tax defer options, such as 1031 exchanges, but he's also going to share with us some other options that are not as prevalent or known about. So I am really, really excited to share with you my interview with Carl Worden and hopefully some valuable tips that will save you money and taxes when you are thinking about selling your home right here in Santa Cruz. I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz Real Estate expert, and I just so can't wait to share this information with you. So stay tuned. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Shemeika. How are you?
Good. How are you? I love your background. Look, I have I have that in the background too. Only mine's just like not quite as real as yours.
Not as fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. Everything looks great. No worries.
What I was really intrigued by when we last met is most people who are in the industry who have sold investment properties are aware of 1031 exchanges. But right. I did not understand that there are other options I did understand, but I didn't understand all of the nuances and intricacies of other options. So I would love for you maybe to just give us a full overview of what you do and options that maybe a standard 1031 exchange that doesn't work for somebody, of what they can do that would potentially work.
Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
Awesome.
Did you want me to are you recording this now? You want me to just get on with it?
Let's do it.
Obviously, the best thing you can do is save for your future.
Right.
Sadly, most people don't. And when I say most people, CNBC came out with a report that kind of proved it. And I experienced it firsthand because I was in a lot of homes. But 80% baby boomer generation doesn't have enough saved for retirement. Fact is, they have about $250,000 in cash and retirement accounts or less.
Wow.
And that's 80%. So actually it's 50-50 on that 80. So 40% roughly have zero, and the other 40% have 0 to 250. It's pretty scary.
Wow.
The reality. So when I came across a strategy, as you know, I knew about the 1031 because I've used it for years, but I came across another strategy that I'll share with you here in a little bit. But it was like a bomb went off in my head. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is how people are going to retire. So yeah. People bought homes, especially the baby boomers in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yep.
And they paid very little. And now they're worth a lot. An interesting additional statistic on the baby boomer generation is 80% of them don't have enough for retirement. 85% of them own real estate. So it's not like they haven't invested, they have, but most of their investment dollars are in real estate, either a primary residence, second home, or investment property.
Right.
So when I came across this strategy, I was like, this is it. This is like the holy grail. So I started marketing it in 2009.
Yeah. And
now since morphed into multiple different other strategies for getting people, access to the money that they have trapped in these assets.
Right? I actually just want to know your secrets. Like you said, how do you pull your assets out? How do you pull your money out of your assets so that you can retire and live on them and keep all of your money? How do you do that?
Yeah, so one of the strategies that I use, and you can find it on deferredtax.com, is something called the deferred sales trust. Okay. And essentially what it is, if you sell a property right now, Shemeika, you own a property, I write you a check for your property, and there's gains, you're going to pay taxes. Yep. And the reason why is because you took possession of the money.
Right.
So from an investment property standpoint, if somebody wants to avoid paying the tax, they have to create a situation where they don't take possession of the money. So what they would use is something called a 1031 exchange.
Got it.
So an intermediary would step into the middle of the transaction between the buyer and the seller. They would take the and they would hold on to it. And there's rules and benefits. You have a finite period of time to find a new property and then get the new money into it. With a deferred sales trust, what we do is we step in with a trust. Okay. And essentially what happens is the seller wants to sell the property. So what they do is at the point of sale, the property is placed into the trust.
Okay.
The trust then sells the asset to the end user. So the buyer, the end user, is not buying the property any longer from the seller.
Right. Got it. Oh, that's so interesting.
Many years ago, Jerry and Sue got married, bought a house, and had children. As time passed, the kids grew up, moved out, and now have kids of their own. Like many, Jerry and Sue no longer need so much space, and they'd like to buy a smaller home near their grandkids and retire with some extra cash. Ideally, when downsizing, your main goal is to have enough money to buy a new, smaller home in the location you desire, while maintaining the maximum amount of profits from your original home sale. However, capital gains can get in the way. But with Carl's downsizing strategy, it doesn't have to. Let's break down the numbers. Jerry and Sue bought their new home for $400,000. Fortunately, the value of their home has increased to $1.4 million. They each qualify for a $250,000 tax exemption, but that still leaves them with capital gains to pay on $500,000 in increased value. This could cost them 20 to 50% in taxes and seriously impact their ability to retire comfortably. And this is where Carl's 4-step downsizing strategy can significantly help. Step 1. Carl instructs Jerry and Sue to take out a loan equal to the tax-free $400,000 basis price. Since loans are not taxed, this money goes into their bank account tax-free. Step 2. Utilize the deferred sales trust strategy. This is where the property is sold to a trust. Step 3. The sales trust then sells the property to the end user. Step 4. The buyer brings the cash to escrow. The escrow officer immediately pays off the loan against the property and sends the remaining $1 million into the trust. At the end of the day, Jerry and Sue have $400,000 to purchase their new downsized property and $1 million in the trust, which can create a lucrative passive income to sustain Jerry and Sue in retirement. Through working with defertax.com, Jerry and Sue were able to purchase their downsized home, escape the burden of hundreds of thousands in capital gains, and create a passive revenue stream that frees them up to spend the rest of their days with their grandchildren. This strategy can also be used on various other real estate transactions as well. For more information, please work with your real estate professional and have them set up a consultation for you with defertax.com today.
So there was really helpful videos on your website at defertax.com, and I'll give my clients the access code Fox so that we know who's logging in and they can just go and explore different options. And then I know last time we met, we talked about having the opportunity to set up a consultation for anybody who's interested in doing any of these exchanges or thinking creatively about how we can sell homes and allow our clients to keep all of their money through the transition into retirement or their next phase of life. So is that still an option?
I'd like to throw something else out there, Shemeika, and I think this is really important because I do talk with a lot of real estate agents. A lot of real estate agents don't get really the power of what we do. Thankfully, you do. And you see this as a benefit to people. Because frankly, there's a lot of people out there that are probably looking for this right now. Absolutely. And they don't even know it's available.
Yeah. I think that is a really, really fantastic overview of what you do and what you offer. The value seems tremendous and like a no-brainer if people are stuck in their largest asset and not able to move on with their life, whatever their next phase of life or goal might be. So I'm gonna spread the word and get that out there, and hopefully we can do some consultations in person with many wanting and willing and able clients who are just needing a tool to elevate and motivate and move on to that next phase of life. So
we have all the team, the tax attorneys, trust attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, everybody you should be talking to before you sell your house, is all part of our team. Perfect. And that's the table, and we can help you.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Carl Worden, for your insight on 1031 exchanges and more. For more information or to schedule a confidential consultation so that we can see if a tax deferral program or plan is the right fit for you for the sale of your home, let me know. I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz Real Estate expert, and I am here to help.